So the next tutorial, last but one, is still within navigation, and we're now going to look at the first two of the management dashboard areas. The sales information is essentially broken down into what happened and what's predicted. The actual sales this period refers to the running total of processed orders during the current period, and the variance is the difference between this figure and that which was previously forecasted. This variance can be expressed as an average percentage, incorporating all variances, plus and minus, of the past 6 months. Next up is the sales figure that is forecast for the next period. By the way, it's worth mentioning that if you've got more than one product, it's extremely worthwhile to consider breaking down all the sales performance and forecasts by product or by product group. This will lessen the chance that a product's poor performance, either overall or at certain times of the year, is inadvertently masked by better than predicted performance of other products and products groups. To further explore this point, if products have different margins, a breakdown is also important in relation to liquidity. However, moving on for the moment, the forecast should next be weighted, usually reduced, and this is reduced by the average variance percentage. If this new weighted forecast is exceeded, that's fine. The variance percentage will go up next forecast, and your cash flow should be greater than predicted. Far better than this way than your cash taking a high hit due to an over-optimistic sales forecast, especially at a sensitive time. The sales forecast also needs to extend on a monthly or period basis for the rest of the current financial year. Naturally, the further out the forecast, the less accurate will be the number, but I'm sure you'll exercise your promoter over this. Your financier has a budget or a business plan to prepare, so this figure is extremely important to update and to weight it with that changing variance percentage. You'll need to be confident that your cash position always stays positive, or in any period of cash negativity, that period is short from the point of view of a sales recovery and improving the sales performance to make up that negative position. Now, liquidity is the fuel of your business. It's meaningless without enough, and also, in the terms of our journey metaphor, without liquidity, your business is actually motionless. Here we're interested in managing cash generated organically. In other words, only from sales of the company's products. Now, of course, liquidity can also be enhanced by loans, investments, and asset sales. But that's in the specialist domain of your financier to be covered strategically. From your cash flow analysis, with of course input from sales forecasting, you should include the weekly net cash position, and then extrapolate this weekly position on a monthly basis 3 months ahead. You already know that you need advance warning of dips and shortfalls in the net cash position, so now compare them to the picture in the other 3 sets of business instruments. Given this heads up, you can consider actions that can alleviate the position. A customer promotion, for example, that increases the average order value. If you do offer this to existing customers, the order increase won't be diminished by corresponding increases in cost of sales. In other words, you're offering it to existing customers rather than acquiring new. Therefore, the positive cash impact is actually optimized, and a discounted offer benefits even more from minimal cost of sales. So what we're saying here is that if you're making an offer and as part of that offer you're offering a discount as an incentive, then it's more beneficial to offer that only to existing customers rather than to newly acquired customers, where you're incurring a cost of sale as well as incurring the discount. Obviously, sales translate into cash only when the customer pays. Thus, a critical factor when assessing your future cash position has to be the time it takes the customer to pay. This is expressed as the age of debt, or AOD, and it's vital to know what the average AOD of your business is, usually presented in days. Your sales analyses really should provide you with the average order value, which is total sales divided by the number of orders, and that's fine for now in terms of a very rough and ready way of measuring the average order value. Obviously, order values by each product is a much better measure, especially when you can map this to your marketing system activity and benchmark the results of different marketing strategies. Remember, it costs you to service your debt even when your business has positive cash flow, and much more so when it doesn't. As well as the negative servicing of loans and overdrafts, there can actually be a debt or debtor consequences from apparently positive factors. Whilst you're waiting for customer payment, you've probably already paid out costs of sales, or there may be an overdraft to service. This sort of factor can even cause the demise of businesses experiencing a massive growth curve, often referred to in business as overtrading. Sales climbing, together with cost of those sales and customer age of debt drifting out to 100 days plus in some cases. However, if they were aware of the cash servicing costs of their debtors, these businesses would probably consider alternative payment processes, such as a deposit with the order, maybe stage payments, and so on. Many companies that don't set up very systematic credit control might well do so if they truly understood the cost of servicing debt and debtors and the serious consequences.